Rain chances moving into the eastern and southeastern half of Texas before a very strong cold front arrives this weekend with more chances for precipitation. Notice how I didn't say just rain. Let's talk about it in this Thursday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning. It is Thursday, the 26th of October, 2023. I am Texas Storm Chasers Boldy in Chief David Reimer. It has been a loud and very wet night across portions of north central Texas into the hill country, the Concho Valley, and Texoma. We've had multiple flash flood warnings, and areas southwest of the Metroplex down towards Hamilton have received red or estimated rainfall totals over 8 inches since yesterday. It has definitely been a very wet period, with some folks getting too much rain too quickly. But the general expectation and belief is we need the rain, and that is for sure a blessing, even if it did come down a bit too quickly, unfortunately. In terms of rain chances today through Friday, we are going to see additional rain develop this afternoon across the eastern third to the eastern southeastern third of Texas. Yeah, sorry, going on about 24 hours with no sleep now because we've been keeping an eye on the weather, so it goes without saying, not all my marbles are here this morning. I'm trying not to drink like a 20th cup of coffee. But in terms of rain chances today, shifting to the eastern third, southeastern third of Texas, we're going to have a lull tonight where we might have some scattered drizzle, fog, low-level clouds, maybe some mist. Break tonight into tomorrow morning. And then as we get into Friday late morning into Friday afternoon, we're going to see additional scattered showers and thunderstorms, perhaps more numerous, across the southeastern half of Texas. You may have seen on this simulated weather model satellite imagery here a boundary moving southeast out of the Panhandle, moving out of northwest Texas into Texoma, North Texas. That is going to be our first cold front. An initial surge of cool, not overly cold, but cool air, and not really much of a drastic wind change either. The drastic wind change is going to arrive Saturday afternoon into Sunday morning as a very strong cold front moves south into the state of Texas with north winds gusting up to 50 miles an hour. And that front is going to pack one heck of a punch. Forecast rain totals this morning through 7 a.m. Well, how about this? How about I actually load the right graphic? Like I said, long day. Okay, well, this graphic, technically, even though the timestamp is incorrect, is going to be 7 a.m. this morning through 7 a.m. Sunday. And then, here we go, 7 a.m. Sunday through 7 a.m. Tuesday. You can see we're going to have more rain chances pretty much continuing over the next 5 days, perhaps beyond that. A relatively active pattern over the next 7 days. And now the interesting question here is any of this precipitation shown across portions of northwest Texas into the Permian Basin? Are we going to see any of that fall in the form of freezing rain or sleet? Let's talk about it. High temperature forecast over the next several days. Here's today. Temperatures generally in the 70s and 80s with lower 90s in the Rio Grande Plains, the Rio Grande Valley. Here we get into Friday. You can see that initial cool front moving south. These are high temperatures after 7 a.m. Friday through 7 a.m. Saturday. Some of these across West Texas, Northwest Texas will occur during the morning hours on Friday with falling temperatures thereafter. 50s and 60s in the Panhandle, West Texas, Northwest Texas. 80s to low 90s across the remainder of the state. Here's Saturday. This is going to be another instance of falling temperatures as a very strong cold front begins to move south, especially across the northern half of Texas during the morning and afternoon hours on Saturday. We'll see temperatures behind the strong cold front drop quickly into the 40s and 50s, maybe even 30s, with north winds of 30 to 45 miles an hour. It is going to be a very strong cold front. In addition, showers and thunderstorms likely along and behind the cold front. So it will be wet, not necessarily super duper heavy rain, but wet. Now, here's Sunday. These are high temperatures. High temperatures in the 30s. The Panhandle, West Texas, 40s, Northwest Texas, into the Big Country and Texoma. Again, this is going to be another instance where as the cold front continues to move south after 7 a.m. Sunday, temperatures are going to drop. So most folks in this graphic here are going to see their high temperatures during the morning or early afternoon hours Sunday. Once the cold front hits, you're going to go from 70s and 80s down to the 40s pretty quick, and even some 30s thereafter. And again, the frontal timing probably is going to get sped up, so the high temperatures you see here probably are going to drop further in upcoming forecast updates. Now, how cold is it going to get? Well, here are the high temperature forecasts for Monday, with wind chills probably 10 to 15 degrees lower. These are not low temperatures. These are the high temperatures for Monday. 40s. 40 is pretty much what? The northwestern two-thirds of Texas. Some 30s. Wind chills, 20s and 30s. The only saving grace is if you're in southeast Texas, 50s. 50s, Victoria Crossroads, 50s for South Texas, the coastal bend, probably the 60s right along the Gulf Coast into the Rio Grande Valley. And again, this is assuming the cold front doesn't speed up and cut down into the Rio Grande Valley. And if it does, temperatures are going to be even lower. Now, for fun, here are the low temperature forecasts for Tuesday morning. A very hard freeze. By Monday morning, honestly, for the Panhandle, for West Texas, a freeze for portions of Northwest Texas. And keep in mind, these may drop even more as data continues to arrive. We're looking at temperatures by Tuesday morning, if not Monday morning, into the 30s, well into the hill country, the Brazos Valley, and East Texas. 40s, pretty much everywhere else in the state. So you're either going to be in the 20s, the 30s, or the 40s. And this is Tuesday morning. Same thing for Monday morning. And for what it's worth, there may be some precipitation in the Sunday-Monday time frame, which means some locations may end up switching over from rain to a very light freezing rain or very light sleet. Not talking any significant accumulations at this point, and we're only talking about as precipitation concludes. So we're not talking about a winter storm situation at this point. We are going to have to keep an eye on it, though, just in case we end up seeing some light ice accumulations in the Panhandle. Regardless of how cold it's going to get over the next few days, soil temperatures remain and will remain well above freezing for most folks, if not the entire state. I mean, this is the first super-duper cold blast of the season. It's been in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So it takes more than a day to cool soil down that much. So if we do have any sort of winter weather mischief, it will likely be confined to exposed, elevated objects like tree branches, power lines, bridges, overpasses. And that's assuming we have any at all. I'm not saying we are. That's something we're not even going to speculate about until we get closer into early next week. But the chance is there, kind of like we dealt with back in 2020, except, well, hopefully not a catastrophic ice storm. So that's going to be it for your Texas Weather Roundup today. As always, you can get your local weather forecast on the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, storm chasing videos, these forecast videos, of course, and live severe weather coverage when necessary. Otherwise, thank you to all those who have been subscribing to the Texas Weather Center YouTube channel. That's where we post most of our weather-related content these days. Thank you for subscribing, commenting, liking, etc. It helps with the algorithm. We appreciate it. We'll chat with y'all again. We might be doing another one of these videos tonight. We'll see. It's crashy, the cold front's on its way. Otherwise, next Texas Weather Roundup will be out by 7 a.m. Friday. Y'all make it a good Thursday. God bless.